got this jacked up, and I've got that gap looking good. The body's lifted up just where I need it. Put that other door on to make sure that gap's already good, but this one mainly is the one that's the problem. So with this height, I'm ready to weld on those brackets, and hopefully we can get that gap to stay like that. Okay, I got those frame brackets welded to the rocker panels. I got this door fitting real nice. Gaps are looking good. Correct height. All these brackets are welded on now. So I got both doors fitting real good. This was a big step because the body man, they keep saying, you know, if you don't do it exactly right, the doors aren't going to fit and all this stuff. It's really not all that hard. You just get it jacked up, and then you weld those brackets on to the rocker panels where they need to go. And the only thing I got left really is to attach this piece, which is my next project. So as soon as that's in there, it'll be smooth sailing out from here on the rest. Okay, I'm getting started building this pillar. I've got this front piece cut. Had to cut a couple of different ones to get the shape exactly right. I'm going to weld in a piece here to fill in that piece, that side. Got that piece bent down. And it's going to connect down there. I'm going to weld that onto this, just like that. So this piece is looking pretty good. Just needs a little bit more work, and I'm ready to weld that on. Okay, I got done welding on this extra piece for my pillar, and I got some nice looking welds, I think, on there, with some spot welds in between where it looks a little bit blobby. But once you get going on those beads, it all depends on the conditions. You know, on ideal conditions where the piece is set up, I can make a nice bead. If I'm working underneath the car and things are dripping, it's going to look ugly. So I've heard some comments saying my welds look like shit, but it all just depends on how the piece is set up. Okay, I'm working on this curved piece on the other side here. I was originally just going to cut the whole thing out, but I realized it's got a curve that way and then a curve that way, so it's too hard to shape by hand. So I'm just going to patch it, a little piece here, a little piece there, and it should be a lot easier. I got the inside of it all wire wheeled out, so I'm going to go ahead and weld in this piece and then continue on down. Okay, the metal's pretty thin right around there, so there was also kind of a gap there. I used the copper spoon behind there, held it so the kind of bridge that gap and give you something solid to weld against. Keeps that metal from burning through. So this piece looks pretty good. Okay, I got this piece fabricated. It's got that shape, and that's going to fit that right like that. So I think I need to trim it a little bit more, and it's ready to go in. Got this window bracket channel thing out of there. Looks like it needs to be cleaned up. Okay, what happened with this window guide was some rust got behind here, formed a bubble, and it warped that plastic so that it was sticking up. So that wouldn't let the window go up and down freely because it was too tight. So what I ended up doing was cutting out that part where the rust was hiding, and I heated that whole thing up with a heat gun. got it really hot and clamped that thing down with this while it cooled back off, and got that to lay down good enough to where it's going to let that window slide through there again. So I just got to weld a piece back on there and spray some rust dissolver down in there. I think we're good to go. Okay, I just finished up on removing this whole rear quarter panel. You know, I was getting into this pillar structure, and I noticed that there was some of the support was corroded away down here, and this is really hard to get to unless you get that whole quarter panel removed. This is going to make it a lot easier to remove all that rust in there, and for me to fabricate and install that that wheel arch and that lower quarter panel on there with the quarter panel removed. So this is one of those parts of the project where you just got to put your big boy pants on and make those hard decisions. You know, I had asked the body guy, how are we going to get to repairing all this stuff in here? His answer to that was we were going to go from underneath and repair it. And it was at that moment where I started thinking, this guy is doing crappy work. I mean, we can't repair that from underneath. All this structure has to be repaired in here. And this part here, I don't think so. You're going to need to be on this side of it to get a good repair job done. So that was a kind of a little bit of a big decision, but I think this is for the best, and I'm ready to move on with the next phase of the project. Okay, I picked up a new wire wheel and went through and got a lot of that the major rust off of there. I'm going to go ahead and hit a lot of these areas with some of that rust dissolver gel. And wait for overnight, then it'll turn into like black substance that you can get off real easily. So that'll get into the crevices, and I think I'm going to go ahead and take the quarter panel off the other side when I'm done reinstalling this one. That's the only way to really get in there and get all that rust out of there, that buildup. So yeah, I think this is exactly what I need to do, and I'm pretty excited to see how it comes out from here. This is that gel stuff that I was talking about, and that sticks on there without dripping off. Gets into those real tight areas. Yeah, I gave this guy a call locally. He's got a dustless blasting unit. He's going to come out and give me a quote tomorrow and see what it's going to take to get the whole car stripped. And I think this is going to be a better option than actually dipping, because even if I had it dipped, I'm still going to need to have those quarter panels taken off to actually paint and, you know, get that sealed up underneath there. So this is probably going to be around $1,000, I'm guessing, versus $3,000 to have it dipped. So we'll see. Hopefully he has good news.